Good afternoon and welcome to the February 9th, 2023 hearing of the Seminole County, Florida Special Magistrate. Before we begin, I would like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before me. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's Government in the Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or argument to offer. The ethics law of the state of Florida requires that the county keep track of every person who appears before an official hearing officer of the county, whether in an effort to influence the decision-making or to encourage the passage, defeat, or modification of any proposal or recommendation. In order to implement state law, it is required that every person who appears before me be registered with the clerk to my left. The cases where the respondent are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all the cases where the respondents are present have been heard, I will return to hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for the respondents. In that the county has the burden of proving a violation exists, the county will present their case and then the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments to only information relating to the case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before me. I will then make my decision based upon the evidence and testimony as presented by both parties. All proceedings before me are electronically recorded. Please speak directly into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly before presenting your case. Your table is right here. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or a language barrier, please inform the clerk. To avoid interference with cases being presented to me, all cell phones and other electronic devices are to be turned off or silenced while inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay, the first case is going to be
Swearing witnesses.
after we swear witnesses. If you are going to be testifying, please stand and raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
First case is 2313 CESM. Respondents Nasim and Chowdhury. You can come right to the table here.
Hi.
Good
Are
afternoon.
you going to be testifying? Yes. Your name?
We just have someone signing in, so we'll be right with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
B-R-E-S-H-A-D?
B-R-A-S-H-A-D.
Okay, thank you.
You good? And sir, if you want to be seated, you can. The county will go first, and then you'll have your turn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted. Thank you.
Case number 2313 is for the property located at 1231 Stanley Street, Longwood, which is owned by Sophia Nasim and Imran Chowdhury. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is addition to carport, including building and electric, without the required permit. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 6/21/22. Notice to respondent was on 6/22/22. Compliance date was 9/1/22. Follow-up inspections as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. The results of the re-inspections are that the violation remains on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Sophia Nasim and Imran Chowdhury are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violation taken 6/21/22. We will have a series of photographs of the violation As you can see, 6/21/22, next please. Another 6/21/22, and through that same date. Keep going. All right, so this is when we get into 7/21/22, showing the progression of time on the, go ahead, next. 7/21/22, 9/19/22, and finally 2/8/23. This screen shows no permits have been applied for or issued to correct the violation. Permit 20-91 is a re-roof permit and does not affect this case. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2313 CESM, is determined that the respondents are Sophia Nasim and Imran Chowdhury, the owners of record of the property located at 1231 Stanley Street, Longwood, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violation on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent shall obtain the required permit for the cited violation. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondents must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Sir, do you wish to respond?
Yes, my name is Imran Chaudhry. I reside at 1231 Stanley Street, Longwood, Florida, with my wife, Sophia Nasim, and 3 children. My 3 children, they are autistic, and they have behavior issues where we had issues of them running into the street when we are bringing them from the therapy or the school or taking them to the school. My wife being at home as a housewife, it was very difficult for her to control them. And a suggestion was made by one of the therapists to enclose the carport and put a garage door there. And so this way, they are within the garage area, so we can get them in the car or to the house when they get out. At that point, I looked into that, and as soon as funds became available, someone recommended a general contractor to handle this work for us. And I have a business card. If we can include in the PowerPoint, please. Right.
Is there a way to put it up there? Thanks. That seems an easy way to put it in the record. Oh, well, if it's not an easy way, let me know.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you, the business card shows Freddie Silva, and under it says he's a general contractor. And I have a copy of the check. We gave him a $9,000 deposit to start the work. And on the check, it shows that he will be obtaining the permit and complete the work. There was a $2,000 balance left after that. It was $11,000 was the total of the enclosure, and that included the garage door as well. At one point, during the construction, it was almost completed. The garage door needed to be installed, and a little stucco work needed to be completed on the front. An inspector showed up and asked for a permit on the property. And I explained to them that the contractor is now here, and we will get him to contact the building department and apply and give the appropriate information. I called the general contractor immediately in front of the inspector. He said he does have a permit issued and maybe not showing up in the system. Inspector cannot see it, which is very common as per the general contractor. After he completed a little stucco work in a day or two, I tried calling him for garage door to be installed and the permit to be taken care of, because inspector said within 5 days, if you do that, there will not be a case opened. And I asked him to, I tried to follow up, and he stopped returning my calls at that point. I contacted the building department. They said there's no building permit has been obtained. Then I got hold of Mr. Kyle, the code enforcement officer, and they said I need to go ahead and get the building permit. And I was told to call DBPR and file a complaint. I got hold of the DBPR and come to find out he is not a general contractor. He does not have a contractor license, even though his business card states that. Long story short, at this point, I have been working with another general contractor and engineering firm. The work he has performed there, engineer has stated that it is in compliance with the building code, I believe 2020 he mentioned, right, which is a current building codes. And he advised not to put a drywall in the garage, leave everything open so inspection can be completed. But I have these plans which has been completed at this point, and he has made 3 visits to take a look at certain stuff, and it's just a matter of time to just get ahead and get a permit issued and inspection completed. And he asked me to request for 120 days, which is instead of April, if I can get it June the 14th, and I should be able to get this completed and closed. And it is costing us almost $5,000 more just to do the plans and engineering report and everything on top of that.
Okay, and just for the record, that business card is going to be your Exhibit A, and these plans your Exhibit B, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So we'll accept those. And what's the name of the, I can't really see it from here, the person that prepared this for you? This is your new general contractor?
Yes, and there's engineer's name there as well.
Okay,
Ronald, yes.
okay. Does the county object to the request for the time extension?
The 60 days was approved by the building official if,
You're not authorized beyond that, right?
correct, I'm not
It's up
authorized
to me?
beyond that, correct.
Okay. And you need until June, you said? Is that what your contractor said?
Yes, the contractor said that the engineer should have a report done within like 30 days. And after that, because he mentioned that this is a small project for them, and but within 30 days, he should have a report done, and it will take another 2 to 3 months to handle the permitting and inspection. He said there are a bunch of different inspection, and also we need to get electrical permit. We cannot get electrical permit until building permit is issued, he mentioned. Also, there's a mechanical permit because they had to read out the air conditioning to back of the building instead of the side of the building. And he said we have to get a mechanical permit, and there's all these inspections. We're looking at close to 10 to 12 inspections. He said if we take a week per inspection, we will need at least 120 days.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I think you're probably right that you're not going to get a permit in 60 days because you seem to have several that you're going to need, and it has not even been submitted yet. So I'll go ahead and grant the extension until April 12th. Our next hearing date is the 13th, so if you don't have yourself in compliance by the 12th, you may be back on April 13th, okay? So you'll have until the 12th to come into compliance and get the permits.
Okay, so you would...
I'm sorry, you wanted June,
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
June 8th.
Okay, thank
We'll
you.
give you till June 8th.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
There's exhibit A, B, and C.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, The next case is 2316 CESM, Respondent Master.
Enclave and Alumni?
Yeah. You're with Enclave at Aloma Master?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2316 CESM is for the property located at 5340 Mellow Palm Way, which is owned by Enclave at Aloma Master Association Incorporated. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is new structure for gate entry installed without the required permit. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 5/23/22. Notice to respondent was 5/24/22. Compliance date was 10/7/22. Follow-up inspections as shown both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections, the violation remains on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Enclave at Aloma Master Association Incorporated is the record owner of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a picture taken when the original notice of code violation was written, 5/23/22, showing the unpermitted structure, and it looks to be under construction. This is another photo of that same structure showing the cavity on the inside of it. This photo was taken 9/21/22 of the same structure. And again, 9/21/22 showing the keypad in that structure. 10/17. And finally, 2/8/23. This screen shows no permit applications have been received or issued to correct the violation. Issued permit number 22-12766 for relocation of existing gate access equipment to concrete structure, repair of underground junction boxed with new concrete covers to minimize future damage, install GFCI outlet for Christmas lights by Palm via existing time clock. This permit corrects the electrical portion of the original violation, but does not include the unpermitted structure for gate entry. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2316 CESM, is determined that the respondent is Enclave at Aloma Master Association Incorporated, the owner of record of the property located at 5354 Mellow Palm Way, Winter Park in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondent to correct the violation on or before April 14, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent shall obtain the required permit for the cited violation. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thanks, and just one question. On that permit for the electrical, was it actually issued and complete? Or did they just apply and not finish it?
It was permit issued, was that, the issue was that that was for the electrical portion of the violation and did not cover the physical structure itself.
Right, but it was issued.
Correct.
Okay, and they paid their permit fee.
Correct.
Okay,
We
thank
just
you.
need the permit for the structure.
Got it. Do you wish to respond?
Sure. First of all,
If you could, please state your name for the record.
yeah, sure. My name is Neil Prashad. I am with Vista Community Association Management, the management company for Enclave at Aloma Master. And
My name's Lucas Naboa. I'm one of the new board members as of about a month ago, so I'm here representing the board as well.
Thank you.
yeah, and if I can just give some backstory on this, my involvement with this has been quite brief. With my company, I oversee the licensed association managers. The manager for this association, she could not be here, but she gave a statement which I would like to read. She has been working with the previous board and some contractors to resolve this issue since it was first brought up in May of last year, like Mr. Kasich mentioned. And we've just been trying to get some clarity on the situation, and I can just, if I may permit, to read this statement from our manager regarding what has transpired since she took over.
Yeah, so this is a quasi-judicial proceeding, and the normal procedures and civil procedures for regular judicial proceedings are a little more relaxed, so we'll let
Okay.
you read it. It might be considered hearsay, but
Okay.
you can go ahead and read it. And what was her
Her name
position?
is, she is a licensed community association manager. She's the representative from our company to the association.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay,
Thanks.
so she said that when she first got on the project, she got a letter from code enforcement I sent to Scott, who was the previous board member. I called Kyle Kasich, listed on the letter, and Scott did as well. We never got a call back and tried again, no response. The third time we got in touch with Ruth Goldstein, and she apologized and sent an email attached. She had sent the email just basically asking the status of this violation. Once I got a reply by email, I called him back asking to explain exactly what was needed for the column, because the masonry vendor, Phipps Masonry, said you don't need a permit for what he did. This is why I'm wondering if it was just made larger, and in that case, this was probably why Scott, the board president at the time, was told a permit wasn't needed. And just to clarify on that, the structure was not a new structure. I believe they just expanded upon it. So that's why the masonry vendor at the time told the board and us that a permit was not needed. She said Mr. Kasich did call back, but the message wasn't unclear. She couldn't understand what he was saying, and she tried again with no response. In the meantime, a permit was pulled for the electrical back last year, July 25th, and was inspected on 12/7/22 and passed. But Scott, the board president, was made aware that a fire inspection had not been done. The inspection passed on January 26, 2023. Nothing was said to myself, this was the manager, Katie, or Scott. No more notices either concerning the actual column after that. So, based on like I said, our involvement, we've got a new board with the community. We just want to be in compliance, make sure that we know what we need to do, and we'll work to rectify it. And, in doing so, we would like to know what options are available, if we could possibly get an extension on this. And first of all, there seems to be some miscommunication or misunderstanding from what we were told by this vendor, Phipps Masonry, which the vendor, he wasn't paid the remainder of the project anyway. He didn't complete the work, and we had to have the other vendor who got the permit for the electrical complete that part. So it's, we just want to know exactly what we need to do, and as we're working with this new board to make sure that the entire community is in compliance.
Okay, can you respond as far as exactly what they need to do? I believe it's pull a permit for the structure, but...
Correct. So that's all we're looking for, is any structure modification or
Okay.
new structures do require a permit.
Okay.
So all we're looking for is a permit showing how the structure was created or modified. That way we can ensure that it is safe for the public. As soon as a permit is issued, violation is done.
Is it realistic to have this process completed by April? If not, I would really like to have an extension. Like I said, we're working with a new board, and we're about to have a manager switch on this community anyway, so I would like to, and I'll be working closely, making sure this gets done, but if we could have an extension, that would be greatly appreciated.
This seems like a simple permit to me, but do you think it can be done in 60 days? If not, I'll give them until May 11th. Because I do want to be realistic. They clearly want to come into compliance.
The building official authorized 60 days for this. If you are looking to extend past 60 days, again, we've only been authorized 60 days by the building official. It should be a relatively simple permit to get.
Right.
So there is the possibility of getting it within that time, as long as too many delays aren't made. It is possible. But again, we've only been authorized to give 60 days.
Understood. I'm going to give you till May 11th because I know how it is when you have a board and have to get people to sign things, but don't wait
Yeah.
to get your submittal in.
We'll
If you
get
get it
started
in
on
now, you have a better chance of getting it done within the 90 days. So you'll have until May 11th, 2023.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The next case is 2317 CESM, Respondent Asset Management Services, AMS. Good afternoon.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted. Thank you.
Case number 2317 CESM is for the property located at 2323 Tuscaloosa Road, Oviedo, which is owned by Asset Management Services of America, LLC. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. The description of the violation is interior renovation and installation of gates without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 7/5/22. Notice to respondent was 7/7/22. Compliance date was 10/26/22. Follow-up inspections, as shown both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections are that the violations remain on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Asset Management Services of America, LLC are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violation taken 7/5/22, this showing the gates. And we're going to go through a series of photos showing the violation. So this is 7/5/22 exterior. And now we're moving into the interior, 7/7/22. Here's a series of photos we can just keep going through. This is just showing anything that's been done to the building over the past.
How did you get access to the building?
We spoke to the homeowner and he allowed us access.
Okay, so it's not vacant?
No, negative. All right. And again, these are just exterior photos showing and interior photos showing the condition of the property and the interior of the structure. Keep going. This is more on the property and the entrance gate taken 7/7/22. And now we're moving in time 11/14/22 showing the entry gate. And finally 2/8/23 showing the entry gate. This screen shows no permits applied for or issued to correct the violation. Actually, I apologize, there was one applied for. This screen shows an application was received on 7/13/22 to correct the violation. Permit 22-12044 is a renovation permit in PC status. It is awaiting corrections from the owner. Permit 19-10512 and 17-18370 are both void permits and hold no bearing on this case. This is a copy of the application and date applied for, 7/5/22. Plan tracking information is that it is awaiting corrections from the owner for the past 40 days. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-17 CESM, it is determined that the respondents are Asset Management Services of America, LLC, the owners of record of the property located at 2323 Tuscaloosa Road, Oviedo, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violations on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violations. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or are repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Sir, do you wish to respond?
Yes, Juan Sanchez. I'm working on getting the permits approved.
Okay, and what is your position with AMS?
I'm the sole member of the LLC.
Okay. So you've submitted your permit and you're waiting on your contractor to help you with the corrections?
Yeah, the building department is waiting for the names of the subcontractors. That's the last thing that they need for to get the permits approved.
Okay. All right, then I will go ahead and issue staff's recommended order since there's not any discrepancy in the fact that there is a violation, so you'll have until April 14th to come into compliance. So there's no fines at this time. If you need, if you're working on it and you need more time, you can come back and ask for it at that time.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next case is 2319 CESM, respondent Eugene and Donna Smith.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2319 CESM is for the property located at 3759 Sutter's Mill Circle, Castleberry, which is owned by Eugene P. and Donna J. Smith. Violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. The description of the violation is installation of a generator, transfer switch with associated wiring, gas line, and new sub-panel under photovoltaic equipment without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 8/31/22. Notice to respondent was 9/1/22. Compliance date was 9/15/22. Follow-up inspections, as shown both on-site visit and via computer, results of the re-inspections are that the violations remain on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Eugene P. and Donna J. Smith are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the generator taken 8/31/22. And this is, looks like the transfer switch taken 8/31/22. This is a closer photo. This was a door knocker left 9/21/22. And this is a photo of the electrical work and generator taken 11/15/22, showing that there had been no change. And this is a photograph showing the gas line on 11/15/22. This was taken 2/8/23, showing the wiring up over the top of the fence. This screen shows no permits applied for or issued to correct the violation. 20-12213 is for electric solar wiring, 19-2777 was a window replacement, and 18-19529 is a re-roof, so none of those permits affect this case. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-19 CESM, it is determined that the respondents are Eugene P. and Donna J. Smith, the owners of record of the property located at 3759 Sutter's Mills Circle, Castleberry, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violations on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violations. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violations continue or are repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Does the respondent wish to respond?
Yes. Back in 2019, I bought that generator and had it installed by an electrician. I do not do electrical work. I don't know how to do it, so I leave that up to professionals. So I put the generator, put it in next to my house. Actually, put it next to my garage, and then it was too close to the electrical panel, and we had solar in our house early in 2020, and the inspector came out to check the solar, and he pointed at the generator and says, that can't be there. You got to have at least 36 inches away from the switch panel. And so he told me that, and I was like, okay. So I had him come back a week later and move everything over to the fence, and it's 40 inches away from the panel now. It works. It's supposed to be right, and the electrician told me the company he worked for was going to pull a permit. And then the inspector didn't say nothing to me that day about the generator, so I assumed he did. We've done that, assumed it all this time until we just got this, because they went back out again this year, last year, 2022, and did an inspection on the roof panels, and they saw the generator, and that's when they gave us the code.
Okay, understood. Is that still requiring a permit if he just moved it?
We did not find any permits associated with the generator.
So when it was
We searched.
originally put there, it didn't have a
Correct.
permit either? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, but the contractor was supposed to do it.
He
and
was supposed to, but
Evidently, he didn't.
Yeah, and as you can tell, because you probably heard the other hearings today,
Yeah.
that's somewhat common.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Unfortunately, you still have to get the permit.
Right, so I have to get a hold of another electrician, come out and move it, and get the gas guy to come out and check
is
it.
that what we have to do?
Can they pull the permit as homeowner?
You should be able to pull an owner-builder permit as long as you both own and occupy the property, if it's clearly under your names. So
Okay.
you should be able to get the permit as long as you are the ones occupying it and it's not like a rental.
Well, when I went to go ask them for a permit, because I did ask them for a permit, and they gave me the paperwork, I still got it right in here, and they gave me all this stuff where I had to make a schematic, and everything, but you guys took pictures of it, and I said, these are the pictures, this is the way it's set up, so, if I can pull a permit, but do I have to do get architect and all that stuff, what they want? I mean, to do that?
I think if you go out these doors and to the left, right inside the building is the permitting office.
Yep, that's where we went.
They'd have to answer that question. I think you have to draw it out, but I am,
Well, yeah, I can draw it out, that's not a problem, as long as I don't need to do that.
ask them what's sufficient for them.
Yeah.
You might be able to draw it out if that's acceptable to them. I don't know what level of detail they need, and
Okay.
they're not here to answer that. But they're right through the
Right,
doors.
yeah,
If you-
that's where we went when I went for the permit, and I just,
Yeah.
My wife
So
got
if we do
issues.
that and we do what they tell us, then they'll issue us a permit.
So they'll review what you submit, right? And if they have any comments, they'll let you know, and if they do, you'd have to address them. But if they approve the permit and you pay for it, then it's issued, and then you'll be in compliance.
Okay.
So
We just
those are
have to
the
have them
two,
come out and inspect it.
yeah, right?
So once the permit is issued, then you would call me back
Okay.
and confirm that you had an issued permit.
Okay.
And then we close the violation based off of an issued permit.
Is there a number on here?
We
There
get you a
will be
card
on
up
the
at front
order.
permit desk.
When I issue the order, we put Mr.
Okay.
K6 number in it too, but you can also get it inside.
Okay.
It'll be on the order. I think I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 90 days, since you're going to try to do this yourselves. So we will give you until May 11th, 2023. Now, if you're working on it and for some reason you don't have it yet, you can come back and show us the evidence that you've been working on it and ask
Okay.
for more time. But if we see you haven't even tried, we're not going to give you more time.
That's our top priority now.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay. The next case is 2325 CESM, Respondent Jahan Chowdhury. You know, I have two of these, so I don't know if somebody is missing a copy.
No,
No? You're okay.
we had fun at the printer.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
We'll have the county go first, and then you can respond, okay?
Yes.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It is accepted, thank you.
Case number 23-25 CESM is for the property located at 2800 Magnolia Ave, Sanford, which is owned by Jahan Chowdhury. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is construction of interior and exterior renovations, including but not limited to new windows, exterior door, electrical, and fascia, all without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 9/12/22. Notice to respondent was 9/13/22. Compliance date was 10/11/22. Follow-up inspections as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections, the violations remain on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Jahan Chowdhury is the record owner of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violation taken 9/12/22. New windows. Oh, a little fast. Yep, go back one.
Yeah, a small window.
Shows the windows, go back next. 9/12/22 showing more work being done on the side of the building. This is showing the interior, the work being done. As you can see, the removal of the ceiling drywall in that extension. Next picture. All right, you can see more work has been done between drywall work. This shows the electrical was removed off the top and electrical work was being done throughout the house. This is an exterior photo taken 12/1/22. Another exterior photo from 12/1/22. And this is 2/8/23 and gives you the best view of the extension we were talking about on the side of the house to the right. This screenshot shows that no permits, I apologize. This screen shows an application 22-17996 was received on 10/24/22 to correct the violation. Application is on 2802 Magnolia, as addressing has split 2800 Magnolia into two addresses due to it being a duplex. Application on 2802 covers 2802 and 2800. This application is currently under review and has not been issued as a permit. A variance has been applied for with the meeting date of March 27th, 2023. This is a copy of the application and date applied for, 10/24/22. Plan tracking information is that it is currently waiting corrections from building and zoning.
Yes.
Which one was waiting, the permit application or the variance?
That was the permit application. Next is the variance.
Variance.
After plan review by Planning and Development, applicant needs a variance to keep the construction of interior and exterior renovations. Variance application was submitted on 1/23/23. The variance request is scheduled for the board adjustment of 3/27/23 hearing.
What is the variance for? Something in the setback?
Correct, so it is to adjust setbacks.
Okay. For what's in the setback? Do we know?
I believe it's one of the sides of the...
That extension piece, correct.
It does not meet the setback.
Got ya.
Okay, so it's the extension does not meet the setback.
Okay, thank you.
This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-25 CESM, is determined that the respondent is the owner of record of the property located at 2800 Magnolia Ave, Sanford, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondent to correct the violations on or before May 12th, 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violations. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violations continue or are repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. And if the respondent wishes to respond, could you just please state your name?
Yes, my name is Jahan Chowdhury.
Okay.
Just on the building is 2800 Magnolia Avenue, Sanford. Yes, I bought that property is month of June, is 2022. But when I get inside, I bought this as is. So I saw this a lot of garbage around and a lot of broken things. So I start to clean it out. But after that is almost 2 months, I go very often. Sometimes I go, sometimes I stay out of the job. So inspector is involved is after that September 12, I think. And he told me just how you are starting this is the with renovation with a permit, so go get the permit. And I come to the county and I start to, they say, okay, do the application. I did that. So after that, they ask me on after what. They say, oh, you are not in the record, so, and there is no record in 10 years. So that's, I didn't know anything about that. So I say, when I will get the permit? They say, okay, give the drawing. I give the drawing. There's drawing, I change, they said me, okay, this is not right, this is not right. I changed 5 times. And after that, finally they say, no, I apply for this extension of the, that is, it's called, what is this? That is, extension of the small ports. So they said, no, ports is not fit over there. I said, okay, take it out. Then I gave, this is survey copy. Then everything I took it out. I go from the, this is the zoning, that is the building department to zoning, back and forth. And this supervisor Mary, she saw my all of those record. And then involved is the zoning. They said, no, you have to go for the variance because on-site is setback was not right in the equipment. But that is not I didn't do anything because that building was as it is in the previously until now. I didn't do anything in the outside work, no extension, nothing. Only couple of window, I fixed a small window and he said, okay, go get the permit. I put the all is the valid, what is this, is called, is number, and I put on the application. Then I put on the electrical what I did, and I put this contractor number over there, everything. So whatever they asked me, I did everything. But till now, I am back and forth, I don't get the permit. One after one, they say this. Then when I apply for the variance, I pay them $750. So I don't know why I am doing this, and I am suffering too much, because I don't know anything. They say, okay, you are the owner, so you can take the owner permit. It's very easy. So I did that. So right now, they say when I will get the permit, I have no idea. And they put the variances meeting is 27 of March. So that is from Jacqueline. She said maybe you will get this time or not. We don't know. So that's why maybe I need another 180 days or 100 days. I don't know anything about that. So
Are you going to the variance hearing on?
yeah,
March
variance
27th?
hearing, because I have no choice right now.
Okay. Well, they've given you more time than they give most. Usually they do 60 days, and they've done 90 for you. So they've given you in their request until May, hold on, let me get the exact date, May 11th, I think, May 12th. So why don't you try and see what happens at your variance hearing and try to get your permits by May 12th? And if you don't, you can come back here, tell me what happened, and if you need more time, you can ask for more time, and we'll evaluate it then. Okay, so I'll go ahead and issue the recommended order, but as of today, there's no fines.
Okay,
Just have to come into compliance by May 12th, or come back and explain why you need more time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next case is 2252 CESM, respondents Andrews and Canestris. I'm giving you my extra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It is accepted, thank you.
Case number 2252 CESM is for Barbara Andrews, George and Sandra Canistras, 3024 Canaanwood Court, Oviedo, Commission District, tax. So the inspector on this case was me. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. This case was originally heard by the special magistrate on June 9th, 2022, and an order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of August 12th, 2022. An affidavit of non-compliance was filed by the inspector after reinspection on August 16th, 2022. Recommendation, the special magistrate issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $9,050 for 181 days of non-compliance from August 13th, 2022 through and including February 9th, 2023 at $50 per day. And the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after February 9th, 2023. The building official did not authorize extension.
Okay, I'm just curious, what happened between August and now? I'm just wondering why it's here now instead of,
There was an
Earlier.
agreement made for 3 to 6 months to try to come into compliance. We have hit 5 months since that agreement, so it was brought back before the magistrate.
okay, who's the agreement between? That wasn't an agreement that I approved, it was just the parties?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
No, that should have been pushed through.
I can ask the respondent, he may know. Did you wish to respond, sir, and state your name?
Yes, ma'am. Just briefly, for the record, my name is John Saman. It's spelled S like Steve, A like Apple, M like Mary, Apple, Nancy. I am here on behalf of one of the owners, George Canestris. During this process, the tenant of the building had been in communication with the building department, and so I submitted into the record, into the file, a power of attorney just confirming that the tenant has and had the authority to communicate with the building department on behalf of the owner. And that also includes me here as well, because I represent the tenant, and we're doing this as part of our obligations under the lease.
So the tenant is George Canestris?
No, ma'am. He's one of the owners. The property is owned by several owners.
Right.
And I'm here per the power of attorney signed over by Mr. Canestris to Atlas Pools and myself.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Thank you.
Got it. Okay.
And so that's correct. I was provided an email from my client to Mr. Kasich, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, where he requested a 3 to 6 month extension, and that was in September. So that's what they were hoping they would get, which would put us on the next month's docket. I know that they've made efforts to come in compliance. I don't know a great deal about what they've done, ma'am, because I was just involved in this particular matter maybe 10 days ago. And so I haven't had a chance to really get my hands dirty and my feet wet.
So what's your request?
My request is just to bump from today to next month.
1 month, 30 days for the lien?
I don't know that they'll be in compliance by then, but I want to have information that I can tell you, ma'am, that's not just supposition or general information. I want to have documents I can show you, not information I can tell you.
Okay, but you're aware that the fines would be accruing for those 30 days?
I understand that there was a hearing in June, and the fines have been accruing since the first extension, which was August. Candidly, I don't know what happened last year. I can tell you that my experience and my practice has been dig in, find out what needs to be done, and get it done immediately. And so I would request to reset it without, and have a pause in the fines accruing. I know that there's 9,100 or something like that already. I just don't know that my client and the owner had the benefit of candid counsel.
Well, why don't we do this? I will give you the 30 days, and when you have the information and can tell us at that time what's going on, we can address the fines. So I'll let them accrue for now, but at that meeting, we may adjust, depending on what you have found out.
Fair enough. Do you have the date? I just want to make sure that I don't have a conflict.
The date is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but March 9th? Okay, so March 9th, 2023.
And what time?
Same time, 1:30.
Okay.
That works?
It does.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay. The next case is going to be 2160 CESM, respondent Justin Marlette. Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted.
Case number 2160, CESM, Justin Marlette, 1120 B Lane, Geneva. Inspector Kyle Kasich. Notice of hearing was posted. The violation is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. This case was originally heard by the Special Magistrate on January 13th, 2022, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of March 11th, 2022. On June 9th, 2022, the special magistrate issued an order extending the compliance date to August 11th, 2022, and waived the accrued fines. An affidavit of non-compliance was filed by the inspector after reinspection on August 12th, 2022. Recommendation based the special magistrate issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $9,100 for 182 days of non-compliance from August 12th, 2022 through and including February 9th, 2023 at $50 per day. And the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after February 9th, 2023. The building official did not grant an extension,
Okay,
or authorize an extension, I should say.
okay. Sir, do you wish to state your name and respond?
Justin Marlette. I bought the property. It already had electric, already had plumbing. The gates I did put up, I filed for months back, and I had to modify something on the drawing, so I did that, and never heard anything back on the gate.
May I clarify? You are just down to the gates on this violation that this lien is about.
Okay,
So the gate
perfect.
is the only thing on this violation.
So I was in line over there, but then it came 1:30. I'm trying to find out what the holdup is, but I mean, it was, do you know, 6 months ago or something that I filed for it?
We'll have to look into the permit one. Give us one.
From my understanding, Kyle said that it's still showing it needs modified, but I did that at the counter
Gotcha.
probably 4 months ago.
Okay.
It was actually the last time I was here that I modified it, so I don't, and then I never heard back.
Where's my case for? Where's the PowerPoint?
I'm just going to take a 5-minute break while they look. We'll be right back.
Where's the PowerPoint for his other case? I have notes in it about it in that case file. Or in that.
Okay, we will resume with case 2160 CESM. Mr. Marlette.
So the permit application 22-12530 Gates in PC status pending fire and zoning corrections since August of 2022. No other applications were received to issue or issued to correct the violation.
Okay, so that's August 2022, but you're saying you went back?
Yes.
After that?
I went back to just check the status, and they needed me to state, there was no measurements on it initially, and I had to measure from the road to the gates, and that's on there now. So I did that.
But was that before or after August 2022?
That was after.
Okay.
So I filed it, and then maybe a month went by, and I came back to check, and that's when she told me that I had to get the measurements. So I called somebody that was there, measured it, and I, right there at the desk, filled it out, gave it right back to her, and never heard since.
Okay. Well, probably after this, you should go back over there.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But regardless, if they can't handle it today, I'm going to go home and it's 2 hinges, take them down until I get the permit. Because it's just not necessary.
So so he's come into compliance on all his other violations, and we only have the gate?
For this case, correct.
Does he have other cases? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so for this case, it's just the,
Just the gates.
and if he took off the hinges like he just said, would he
If
be
he
in
removed the
compliance?
hinges and called me so that I could come out and inspect it, he would be in compliance for this violation.
Okay, well, I'm hesitant to put a lien on the property if that's all he has to do, because then we're not going to be able to remove it, and he'll have to go to the BCC and take their time. So I think it's more efficient if I give you the 30 days for this gate to either get your permit or remove it, but I'll tell you, in 30 days, I won't do another time extension.
No. If they don't give it to me today, I'm taking it off.
Okay.
Just,
So- No, I'm going to, I'm just going to extend the compliance date for now, but we'll address the fines when we get back in 30 days.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see you back on March 9th.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks.
Are we doing the other one too?
If I have another one on here. Yes, 2314 CESM. Now, this one is not a lien hearing, this is a violation hearing.
Correct.
Okay.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted.
Case number 23-14 CESM is for the property located at 1120 B Lane, Geneva, which is owned by Justin J. Marlette. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is installation of a mobile home without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 7/25/22. Notice to respondent was 8/11/22. Compliance date and extension 9/29/22. Follow-up inspections as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections are that the violation remains on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Justin J. Marlette as the record owner of the property. This shows the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is an aerial photo taken 7/24/22 showing the mobile home on the property. This was 7/27/22, another showing the mobile home. 7/27/22, again 7/27/22 showing the other side.
This one was taken 10/5/22. You can see that mobile home. 1/11/23. And finally, 2/8/23. This screen shows no permits issued to correct the violation. The permit 22-12530 is that gate permit that is in plan check. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-14 CESM, it is determined that the respondent is Justin J. Marlette, the record owner of the property located at 1120 B Lane, Geneva, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violation on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent shall obtain the required permit for the cited violation. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
I had to get the septic pumped and inspected, which I did, and I filed with the health department, and I need that back before the mobile home movers can pull their permit. So I'm waiting on the health department.
So can he not submit a permit application and then supplement it later, or does everything have to go in?
I was told septic has to be first.
Part of it? Okay. Well, that answers that question.
And even if it was applied for, if it wasn't issued, it
Yeah.
doesn't cover the violation.
No, it just goes to tell me how hard someone's trying to follow the rules.
So that should be sufficient by the next 30 day also. I don't know. I would assume.
Okay. Well, you have 60 days, so you'll have till April
Okay,
14th.
perfect.
So on this one, there's no fines, and hopefully you are in compliance by
I will
April
be.
14th. All right. So ordered on that one, and have a good afternoon.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just give me 1 second to make a note. Okay, the next case is 2129 CESM, respondent Mr. Mowry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2129 CESM, Jason Mowry, 104 South Crystal View, Sanford, Florida. Inspector Kyle Kasich, violation Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. This case was originally heard by the special magistrate on August 12th, 2021, and an order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of December 8th, 2021. On December 16th, 2021, an order was issued extending the compliance date to March 10th, 2022, and waiving any accrued fines. March 10th, 2022, an order was issued extending the compliance date to May 13th, 2022. On May 16th, 2022, an order was issued extending the compliance date to August 11th, 2022, and waiving any accrued fines. Recommendation, the special magistrate issue an order of imposing a lien in the amount of $9,100 for 182 days of non-compliance
from August 12th, 2022 through and including February 9th, 2023 at $50 per day. The fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after February 9th, 2023. The building official did not authorize extension.
Okay, and what have they done between August and today? Anything?
As far as we were able to tell,
Yep, that's me.
so they are down to just the pool now. So, the pool permit is in PC status pending building and plumbing correction, closed due to inactivity in E-Plan, 180 days plus.
Okay, when was it closed?
No, I don't have that date.
That's okay, if you don't know, you can just tell me you don't know. I can ask them. Okay? Does the respondent wish to respond?
Please. So the reason why there was no action on the permit from, what was it?
180 days was not.
I had a court order to not be at the residence. I was accused of domestic violence, which was then further down the line dropped. But I have an administrative order, court order from Judge Rudisil on May 6th saying that I can't return to the residence. So I didn't have possession of the residence, nor was I even allowed to be affiliated through a third party of any kind with the residence. So that was then up until...
That was May of '22?
Correct.
Okay.
So that was when the action stopped on you guys' side of things, because I was not to be affiliated with anything on that premises. Then further down the line, I wasn't granted access until almost December of this past year. So I haven't had any time there at the property to be able to continue on with the permit. And I have every intention to. I mean, I've got an invoice here from the architectural design group for $12,000 that, I mean, I didn't just pay that for nothing. I mean, I have every intention on getting this done. I'm going through a divorce. I mean, I have 2 kids under 6. My daughters did take priority. My ex-wife is an alcoholic. She just got into a DUI. I've been trying to protect my kids. And I will say permitting was not number 1 on the priority list. My kids were. But in this time, I've been actively engaged with Don and William Thomas Design and trying to find a pool consultant that we can actually work with to get the corrections done on the pool that they're asking for on the TDH worksheet. And that's really the only thing, excuse me, holding us up is the TDH worksheet.
What's the TDH worksheet?
The total dynamic head worksheet.
Yeah, so my name's Don Sharp. I'm helping Jason with all the permitting, so.
Are you a contractor or a friend?
I'm like a consultant, really. He's
Okay.
paying me to be here now, so I wouldn't be a good friend if I took the money. But, so, I did reach out to the chief plans examiner earlier in the week, Jeff Johnson, I believe is his name. And we talked about specifically these 3 permits, and I asked him, do we need to resubmit on any of these? And he said, look, it's the building official that really makes the call on this. He's like, but since the code hasn't changed, it's very likely that we're not going to have to resubmit. So it sounds like we should be able to administratively open up the front porch addition, which was already approved, the fence, which was already approved, and then, like Jason stated, the pool, the issue that we're running into is that the county comments are stating that the piping is not actually large enough to service this size of a pool, and that's basically discovered through the TDH worksheet that he's talking about. But to Jason's point, in order for us to get that resolved, we need a consultant to kind of go there to figure out, do we have to bust up the pool to replace the pipes, or is there something else that we can do? But, without being able to access the property, we can't get anybody on there, until now. So the plan is to open up all 3 of these permits, resolve the fence in the addition quickly, and then the pool, we're going to need more time on because we need to get a consultant there too. Then William Thomas needs to fix the drawings, we have to submit it, needs to get reviewed. So, that's at least,
So
moving quickly, that's 60 days.
Are you in possession of the property now? Or are you just allowed to access it?
I just gotten into actual full,
You live there?
yeah, I live there now. She has since just currently moved to her parents' house.
Okay.
So my ex-wife to be, we're still going through the divorce. So my ex-wife to be has now moved to her parents' house, and I now have full.
You have full access to be able
Now
to
I
fix
do.
the violation now?
Now I do.
Since December?
Yes.
Okay. So, and for the past month, you've been looking for the pool contractor to do
Correct.
this work?
Yes, and then additionally, I've been looking for a pool contractor to work with me through the TDH worksheet. But ever since I've got back to the house, I wasn't there for a long period of time, and she didn't take anything seriously in terms of, there was no way she was going to do anything regarding permitting. And then, I came back, I have to replace the air conditioner, she's run that broken, the cabinets, there's so much work that needs to be done in the house. So I've just been trying to get the house back to working order, just so I can have somewhere for my kids that's not a disgrace. And so it's back there, but it's taken some time to get there.
And how much time, how do you even know how much time it's going to take you? You don't have a person to do the work yet.
No, so the main thing is the TDH worksheet is, to these guys, the pool contractors, apparently very simple. I just have to have somebody that comes out, measures the actual piping, and goes off the schematics that we provided, the stamped engineer's drawings, measures from the equipment to each return, and then can determine the total dynamic head. I'm not a mathematician, I'm a concrete guy, I'm leaning on somebody to do those formulas for me. And I tried myself twice and I failed, so.
So can you get it done in 60 days?
I can dang sure try. I'll do everything I can to do that, but I'm not sure. Like you said, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to get it done in 60 days because 60 days isn't that much time, especially in the contracting world.
Do you have someone that you're talking to right now?
So there's either, I've nailed it down to one of 3 guys, and it's basically whoever's going to be able to come out and take care of it first and give it the most attention. So,
Have any of the 3 given you a time frame yet?
they said it's not going to be anywhere close to this month. I said, well, is something we can get done this month? Not even close. Okay, next month? Possibly. Okay, what are we looking at? I can never get a straight answer other than approximate times.
Does the county wish to respond?
There was no extension approved by the building official. That is all I am allowed to present, is that there was no extension approved by the building official.
Was it requested of the building official?
Tuesday, it was just a couple days ago.
Okay, well,
And it's a renewal, it's not an extension, it's already expired, so we're asking for them to reopen it so that we can call inspections on it.
reopen the permit.
Right, I'm speaking an extension of the.
We're talking about this case.
this
Oh, I'm
case,
sorry.
Not
Yes,
the
I'm sorry, I was
permit, the
just-
case.
The permits themselves.
Correct. We go through with the building official before the hearing, and he lets us know which ones he's okay with.
Got ya. Well, I'm going to give you guys an extension of 60 days. Do your best to get one of those contractors there as soon as you can, because at this point, from the county's perspective, it's been going on a very long time. I understand from May to December, but even before that, we've been extending it since 2021. And I don't want to keep doing that because at some point, the property has to be in compliance. I'm concerned about the safety. If the pipes aren't big enough for the pool, I don't know what kind of damage that can cause. And so in some way or another, let's address it as soon as you can, hopefully within those 60 days. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
That was all, oh no, we have one more with the respondent present. That's the only one I have. What's the other one you have?
And then the special request,
Oh, I don't have that one.
2215 on the second page.
Yeah, she didn't sign in on mine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, the next case is 2320 CESM, Respondent Concordia Properties LLC. Good afternoon, sir.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2320 CESM is for the property located at 1495 South US Highway 1792, Longwood, which is owned by Concordia Properties LLC. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is changing fascia and adding entrance vestibule without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 8/4/22. Notice to respondent was 8/8/22. Compliance date 9/26/22. Follow-up inspections as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections are that the violations remain on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Concordia Properties LLC are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violations taken 8/3/22. The other side of the building, 8/3/22, 8/26/22, and again, the other side of the building, 8/6/22, 11/5/22, 11/15/22, and finally, 2/8/23. This screen shows that no permits have been issued to correct the violations. Permit application 22-5873, received 4/12/22, is for adding an entrance vestibule to the existing store, which will partially complete the violation once issued. Application is currently in PC status, pending corrections since June of 2022. Issued permit 22-4832 is for a re-roof. This is a copy of the application and date applied for. Plan tracking information, Lizardo Inc. is the applicant. Stopped workflow in E-Plan over 180 days inactive. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-20 CESM, it is determined that the respondents are Concordia Properties LLC, the owners of record of the property located at 1495 South US Highway 1792, Longwood, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violations on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violations. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violations continue or are repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Does the respondent wish to respond?
Yes, ma'am. Here is the permit. Approved and signed
When did that get signed?
Tuesday.
Okay, this week, like
This Tuesday.
2 days ago, okay.
Should be in the system. It took 6 months to get this site plan approved.
Okay.
That's
Well,
why-
if that's a signed permit, he would be in compliance, right?
We'll have to look into this. It's still showing plan check as of this morning.
Can I see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Can bring it up.
Rick Graham, engineering.
Yeah.
Should I put that in the system?
Thank
As
you.
of Tuesday.
All right, let's
I
see.
seen yesterday, and it wasn't in the system yet.
Strangely, I don't see, I'm going to let you look at this because I don't see the number at all in your system, but,
After speaking to the chief plans examiner, that may be the site plan through P&D. It's not a building plan.
But the site plan,
here you go, you can show.
the site plan will allow that permit to be fulfilled. So they work together in conjunction.
Negative. You would still need the building permit issued.
Okay.
Permit
May
is
we
issued,
bring up
but
the
it's on hold.
chief plans
Yeah,
examiner?
yeah. Go ahead and, I think I understand what's going on. You've got a step in the process done, but you still actually have to get the permit. But if you wanted to come down and testify, did you want to?
Yeah, I can.
We might need to swear you in.
The
if we
permit
can.
is there, it's just on hold.
I stood up when y'all were swearing in. So.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great, awesome. Very efficient.
Yeah. I'm Jeff Johnson. I'm the Chief Plans Examiner. The site plan, once it's approved, you have to get the plans from Planning and Development. That's through the engineering department. Once you have them, you upload them into the building permit and then resubmit if that's the only thing that's outstanding for your
I
permit.
think we did that yesterday. The GC did it yesterday.
Okay.
That's what I was told, but
Yeah, I mean, that would be if it was just uploaded and it comes in, then it has to be sent out for review.
Yeah, no, it's fine, I understand what's going on.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
thank you.
So you're going to get 60 days to come into compliance. You're going to get till April 14th, 2023. So if you upload everything that you have to upload and get your comments, you would just call the Mr. Kasich and let him know, and then he'll close out your case. So I'm going to give you till April 14th, but no fines until then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
It's a little confusing because
I know, it is.
The departments
Can
don't
be.
communicate with each other.
It can be, but it looks like you're on the right path. Thank you. Okay, the last case where a respondent is present is 22105 CESM, Respondent Navoa.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I know it's a special request. You all have not agreed to anything? Okay. Go ahead.
Did just, can I say something? Teresa Novoa. I had a call at 12 o'clock that all my plans are being reviewed and everything, and I just have to go and start permitted, pay and start.
Okay, and what is your request going to be today? Are you asking for time?
Well, yeah, probably a month. I just want to make sure that when I start permitting, I'll call him, and then I'm in compliance. The only thing now is the inside of the living area on the garage. Everything else is been finished.
Okay, thank you. And I'll let you speak again. Let me see what the county has to say. Are we here for a violation?
This is...
She was already found in violation and...
Correct. So this is a special request. At this time, she's just requesting additional time to comply.
What was the compliance date originally?
February 2nd.
February 2nd, 2023.
Okay, I am with you.
Additional time and any approved time.
Okay, and are you in agreement with that?
So we were approved for 30 days and to waive fines by the building official.
Good.
And sounds like you're in agreement. So,
Yes.
so ordered, 30 days. We don't have to go back through all the violation because
Okay.
she's already been found in violation, so that's why I asked. So,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
you can have your 30 days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I told them that I was in here, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be over there right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, you're awesome. Yes. Start permitting.
Yeah,
Gracias.
thank you. Okay. Okay, we will now proceed to call the cases where a respondent is not present. There are no other respondents in the room. Okay, so we will go to, back in order on the agenda, 2315 CESM, respondents Guzman and Puzder.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2315 CESM is for the property located at 3969 Centerville Way, Sanford, which is owned by Ronald A. Guzman and Sierra M. Puzder. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. The description of the violation is installation of a fence without the required permit. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 6/24/22. Notice to respondent was 6/29/22. Compliance date was 9/14/22. Follow-up inspections as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections are that the violation remains on the property. The screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Ronald A. Guzman and Sierra M. Puzder are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violation taken 6/24/22. These are further photographs, so we've got 6/24/22. Next, 8/24/22. Keep going. 9/20/22. 10/10/22. And finally, 2/8/23. This screen shows an application 22-11393 was received on 7/5/22 for a fence and is currently in PC status. However, the workflow in E-Plan was terminated on 1/26/23 due to inactivity. Any other permit applications received, or no other permit applications received or issued to correct the violation. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-15 CESM. It is determined that the respondents are Ronald A. Guzman and Sierra M. Puzder, the owners of record of the property located at 3969 Centerville Way, Sanford, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violation on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondents shall obtain the required permit for the cited violation. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you. Next case, 2321 CESM, Respondent Three Guys Properties LLC. Take your time. It's been a long agenda.
Kyle Kasich, Building Inspector. I have presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request it be entered into the record.
It's accepted.
Case number 23-21 CESM is for the property located at 1091 Merritt Street, Altamont Springs, which is owned by Three Guys Properties LLC. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. Description of the violation is installation of a fence without the required permits. The case summary is as follows. The initial inspection was 8/24/22. Notice to respondent was 8/25/22. Compliance date was 10/21/22. Follow-up inspections, as shown, both on-site visit and via computer. Results of the re-inspections are that the violation remains on the property. This screenshot from the property appraiser's website shows Three Guys Properties LLC are the record owners of the property. This is a photograph of showing the posting of the notice for this hearing on the property. This is a photograph of the violation taken 8/24/22, 9/21/22, 10/11/22, 11/15/22, and finally 2/8/23. This screen shows no permits applied for or issued to correct the violation. This shows a copy of Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. Recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-21 CESM, it is recommended that the respondents are It is determined that the respondents are Three Guys Properties LLC, the owners of record of the property, located at 1091 Merritt Street, Altamont Springs, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violation on or before April 14th, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent shall obtain the required permit for the cited violation. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
So ordered. The next case is 2221 CESM, Respondent Robert Freeland. We don't have to go through the violations since it's a lien hearing, right? You can just tell me whether it's in compliance and for how long. And let me know that you noticed it.
Mr. Freeland did call and left a message on my machine this morning that he would be unable to attend today's hearing as his truck broke down.
Okay.
He returned his call and left a message for him.
Okay, thanks. So he's obviously had notice of the hearing.
Correct, this is a lien hearing on this one. So we are 2221 470 Citadel Drive, Kyle Kasich, Inspector. So this case was originally heard by the special magistrate on May 12th, 2022, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of August 11th, 2022. An affidavit of non-compliance was filed by the inspector after re-inspection on August 12th, 2022. The recommendation, oh, and it is still not in compliance as of an inspection yesterday.
So you went out yesterday?
I have seen it. We have the photo of yesterday
Okay,
right there.
okay.
Recommendation, the special magistrate issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $9,100 for 182 days of non-compliance from August 12th, 2022 through and including February 9th, 2023 at $50 per day, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after February 9th, 2023. After talking with the building official, he did not authorize an extension.
Okay, so ordered. The next case is 2162 CESM, Respondent American Federated Title Corporation. And this is another lien.
Correct. 2162 CESM, American Federated Title Corp., 3060 East State Road 436, Apopka. Violation, Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. This case was originally heard by the special magistrate on April 14th, 2022, and an order was issued giving the respondents a compliance date of June 9th, 2022. On June 9th, 2022, the special magistrate issued an order extending the compliance date to August 11th, 2022. An affidavit of non-compliance was filed by the inspector after re-inspection on August 12th, 2022. If you pull up, we did do an inspection yesterday. Keep going. Keep going. You're looking for, 8. There we go. So this was the inspection yesterday showing no change. And if you go to the permits after this, keep going, keep going. So application for the permit 196869 was submitted 5/10/19 to combine the units 112 and 114. This permit was voided due to 180 days of inactivity. That was the permit that was linked to the original hearing of this case. The permit application 231950 was submitted 2/6/23. This permit should cover the violation once issued, but it is in the very initial stages. It was submitted 2 days ago.
Do we know why? 180 days? Did they change ownership or anything?
As far as we're aware, the ownership has remained the same. They have gotten a contractor.
Oh, okay. But you want to proceed with the lien, right?
Correct. There was no extension granted by the building official.
Okay, well, if that's what the county wants to do and the respondent's not here to say otherwise, then I will go ahead and issue an order for the lien. So ordered. And the last case is going to be 2267 CESM, Respondent Tawny Investments Incorporated. And this is a special request, but they're not here.
2267 CESM.
Not be able to make it today.
Okay, so how did he submit it, in writing?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have the written request?
it's an email.
Do you have a printout of it?
I did not print it out.
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Do you want me to go ahead and give the standard run-through on it?
Well, was he already found in violation previously?
Correct. After speaking with the building official this morning, the building official wanted to not waive the fines, but give 30 more days.
Okay. So I'm fine with that. We'll just let the fines accrue and give 30 more days. And did he say anything different in the email, or did he just ask for the, I guess it doesn't, did he ask for more than 30 days?
This is what I've spoken to the building official about.
Okay.
The email would have been to the clerk of courts to ask for the hearing.
Okay, we will go ahead and give 30 additional days, so he will have until March 9th, 2023 with the fines waived, with the fines not waived, I'm
Not
sorry.
waived.
It's been a long day. Fines will
Yes, it
not be
has.
waived. So basically, it's a continuance. Okay? That was the last case, correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
Okay, so we will go ahead and approve the minutes from January, I think.
January 12th and the corrected minutes from December 8th.
Okay, yes. So we'll hereby approve the minutes of January 12th, 2023, and the corrected minutes of December 8th, 2022, and confirm the date of the next meeting. Those notices have gone out for March 9th, correct? Okay, so the next meeting date will be March 9th, 2023, and with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.